Hello and welcome to Wolfman Gaming. This is my Spider-Man Miles Morales blind playthrough. And we are heading over to our apartment, I think. I can't actually really remember where we were going. But in the last episode we did stop a crane from falling over, and in the quiet ways of Daniel LaRusso, we did it crane style. No, scratch that. That was a horrible dad joke and I deserve to be ashamed for it. Yes, but I won't, because I don't. But while we're swinging through the city, I want to give you a movie tip, which might be considered a bit obsolete because the movie has been out for a while at this point. But a while back I saw the movie called Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds, where he plays an NPC character in an online game called Free City.
Shops all boarded up.
And I'm gonna talk more about that in a while.
Don't want to draw attention. Hello? Man, this place is dusty. No one's been here in a while.
Look for evidence. Yes, Free Guy with Ryan Reynolds. He plays an NPC in an online game called Free City. And he works at a bank that gets robbed a few times a day. As you do in an online game. Because Free City is basically a GTA clone. And one day let's see, LA is a decent match for you, but that hair, maybe best to wear a hat. That's not very nice. And either way, one day he falls in love with a woman he sees. And he also finds a pair of sunglasses. Because all the players, or the heroes as the NPCs refer to them in Free City, wear sunglasses. So suddenly he starts seeing the world as a player would.
Don't remember there being bricks here.
And he wants to, let's see. That's one way of doing it. He wants to impress her, so he needs to gain levels by being a nice guy, because he is programmed to be very nice to people. After all, he works in a bank. He is very service-minded. And he becomes he goes viral, is probably the correct term, in the game, and people are amazed at this player who they call Blue Shirt Guy, who is just decent to everyone and is gaining levels insanely fast. And I think that is the most unrealistic part of that entire movie. Because I have never played GTA Online, but I have played some online games. And if there's one thing I've learned, that it is that you don't gain levels by being decent. You gain levels by killing your enemies. And he's trying to do everything, but he's stopping crimes. And yeah, I'm not gonna give too much away, but the thing I want to say about that movie is that if you're a gamer, I can highly recommend that you watch it, because me and my girlfriend, we watched it and we were laughing so hard at times. There is a lot of recognition humor in the movie, like you see, because I think most of the humor in that movie happens in the background. Ryan Reynolds is a fun guy. He's a great actor. He's great at playing funny characters. Just look at Deadpool. But I think the most fun in this movie, as I said, happens in the background. Like seeing a person run past or just skipping past. Because anyone who has played like a game like World of Warcraft, for example, there's something about people that they always skip forward, like jump and run, run and jump, run and jump, run and jump. I don't know if it's makes you move faster or something, or if it's just something you tell yourself that it's it feels like it moves faster when you're doing it, when you're skipping along and stuff like that. A lot of subtle things go on in the background of that movie, and if you haven't checked it out by this point, I highly recommend you do. It is up on Disney Plus, and yes, it's 2 hours well invested. The only only sort of problem I would say I had with it is that it was one of those movies a bit like what's it called? The last Lord of the Rings movie, Return of the King, is one of those movies that ends for a really long time. It spends half the movie ending. You know, like after they are done in Mount Doom and have the ring has gone in, Gollum is dead, Sauron has fallen, everything can go back to normal and be fine. Then it feels like then they're halfway through the runtime. Because then everyone is gonna say farewell for an hour and a half. And I do realize that Peter Jackson probably had a hard time saying goodbye to the movies and the people involved. I remember I watched a behind the scenes documentary some years ago, and when they were filming the very final scene they filmed, he had a thing he said, I don't know if it's exclusive to him, but he used to say something along the lines like, that's a take, check the gate. Which meant that they had done like the final take, everything was completed. And when they shot the final scene, he did, I think, a lot more takes than needed just because he didn't want to wrap up the work. And it's when it's something you have invested all your time, energy, and love in over a period of 3 years they spent making those movies. I fully understand that it's hard to say goodbye for you as a creator. For me as a viewer, having spent somewhere along the lines of 3 hours inside a movie theater, I have no problem saying goodbye to your characters after 3 hours. Well, 3 hours is nothing compared to 3 years. And I'm not gonna say that Free Guy feels like it's going on for 3 years or even 3 hours. But they did drag out the end a bit. Was what I was gonna get to, but I digressed. Anyone who's a long time viewer on my channel knows that is something that can happen from time to time, and yes. That's how I roll. And the problem is, since I got stuck in that, I got a bit confused. The sad thing about not having the subtitles on is that it is a bit hard to keep up with the story going on. There is a story somewhere in the background of this game as I'm swinging through New York City, having a great time and kicking the bad guys, bad guys asses. Uh, whoa. And ow.
Hear me out. What if you don't capture me? Detain him!
So yeah, that's 4 out of 5, and that's 5. And that should be the last guy. Yes.
Kidnapping squad dead.
Rocks on violations. Alright. Activity available. There's also one other thing about Free Guy that I started thinking about now that I'm gonna mention.
This is where the whole new form project got started.
One problem I have with that movie as a
In
gamer
there somewhere.
is when he
And I think I just found
puts
my way
on the
in.
sunglasses and sees what a player sees. I feel the screen
Van has
is
high voltage
very
shielding. Wonder
cluttered.
what powers it. Gotta disable it somehow.
And had it been a real online game, I think they would have needed to work on their interface because there was too much shit on the screen. Let's see. Take your ass. And if we get one of you to turn around. Shouldn't one of you be safe to take out? At least. There we go. And we take out the other guy. Not as stealthily as it could have been, but stealthily enough.
Okay. Now to get into the building.
There we go.
Absorbing energy fried the generator. Can't believe that actually worked.
Neither can I, but I don't question things like that. Because that is one of those video game things. And I'm okay with that.
Breaking into a
Don't
lab
just
full of
love
iron
video game
rods.
logic.
This break sure is different this year. I should be at home, taking naps, playing a ton of video games, and eating like 100 Christmas cookies.
Yes. That is one of my favorite things about Xmas. Is that my sister usually makes candies. Peppermint
Wait, that is going
peppermint
circle.
taffies
The guy who installed
that
is
are
clearly
covered
having his
in
recipe.
chocolate and crushed up candy canes. Your teeth hate you for eating them, and your bowels do as well, because eat like one too many and you'll be shitting very freshly smelling wallpaper glue for weeks afterwards. But it is still
Seems
so
gonna get
worth
musty.
it. And every year I make the same mistake because I just plow through them. I even told my sister one year, like, unless
set the
she was
farmers
making
pretty
them,
far
I
below
would not be
ground level.
joining the family. Because there are some things you just need to have. And being a person that is not big on tradition in general.
If it's underground, kill them. Spider-Man or Tinkerer.
It's the little things that make you really appreciate it.
Hey, kid.
money.
Damn, Miles. We're a skinny-ass kid. You hit hard.
Uncle
What?
Aaron? You're the Prowler? My dad had a foul on you.
I know. And I bet you got a lot of questions right now. But we need to get out of here. You picked the wrong place to break into.
I'm not leaving till I find what I came for.
Listen, I did some work for Roxanne a while back. You don't want to mess
This
with
is
these
really
folks.
the
If we get
superhero
caught
family.
here,
Then help me.
Keep it in the family.
Steven is
Or
your father. All right.
maybe he's
So we
like
do this
a
my way.
supervillain.
I know a place I can access a security terminal. Let you know what's coming. Remote mines. Use them if you get in a jam.
Yes.
Don't get caught.
I most definitely will.
See
So,
that vent with the laser shielding?
How'd you do that?
yes.
I've worked with systems like this before. Now focus.
Looks like a good time to try out those remote mines.
What's going on with the cameras? More power outages?
Nah, that was in Harlem.
Rhino took out a whole power plant. Could have messed with more than one neighborhood.
So what is it you're looking for?
Wow.
I tracked the signal. It's coming from somewhere deep underground.
They
Lowest
do
point in the building
not
is at the bottom
mess
of the
about.
outside.
Then that's where I'm headed.
Just get a little bit closer. Thank you. I think that last guy, no matter how many Xmas toffees he's eaten,
Leads to a
he
lab.
was shitting bricks for the last few seconds.
It's what these schematics say. Yeah.
And if he wasn't, he's an idiot. Because he fucking should.
Hey.
I'd most definitely be shitting bricks at that point.
We're trying to make more, but Mason didn't leave behind any notes.
And?
Well, I had heard that one canister of new form survived the incident on the bridge. Now, if we had access to that,
Don't you think that if I had it, I would give it to you?
yes, Mr. Krieger. I just want to make it clear that without that canister, it will be impossible to hit the deadline.
I'm doing everything in my considerable power to find that canister. However, right now, it would help me for you to go back to your lab and do your damn job.
Seems a bit annoyed.
Who's on a deadline?
So you're gonna tell me whose phone you're looking for?
The Tinkerers. You gonna tell me why you're stalking me?
To protect you. You should feel honored. I came out of retirement to watch your back.
Can't believe my uncle's the Prowler.
And I can't believe my nephew's risking his neck for a phone. Let's get on with it.
Eyes up.
You're close to the reactor prototype. Need to take these guys out.
Apparently you haven't seen the youth of today. Because if it's one thing they will risk their lives for, it's their phones. Like someone said, if you really want to mess with your kid nowadays, don't take away their phone, take away their charger, and just see the panic in their eyes as the battery is going down. And especially nowadays with smartphones. Even though smartphones have been around for a bunch of years, I don't know exactly how many. I think they started coming out around 2009, 2010.
Thanks.
Silo's just on the other side of that
And
bridge.
don't quote me on that
Use
because
that terminal to open it
they
up.
might be older. I think even back in 2008. It doesn't matter, actually. Scratch that. Even though they have been around for, let's say, over a decade,
There's more labs
battery
around the
power
city
in them is still
with a new
fucked.
form reactor in each one. New form made
Because I remember back in the good old days, when I was young, no, when I was a teenager, I had a Nokia 3310, and anyone my age or around that age
Powers this
would
whole
probably agree that that was Not counting smartphones, but back dumb phone age, whatever you want to call them. That was a force to reckon with. Because nowadays you need to charge your phone at least once a day. On weekdays at work, I usually charge my phone at least once because I listen to music on my phone, or usually I listen to documentaries because I like to learn new things, and I think it's a bit more fun to listen to documentaries while you're at work than just listening to music, because when I'm an album listener, I prefer to listen to entire albums instead of just playlists, due to because when a band puts together an album, there's a thought behind it, and the songs on the album are created to go well together. So, I almost fucked up, but it worked out well. And either way, the point I was getting to is that Spotify, even though it is quite well optimized,
Actually, got my uncle here helping me.
it drains your battery
Yeah, turns out he's also the Prowler.
quite quickly.
Long story.
And
Wait, the Prowler? The thief who runs around in purple?
Former.
so unless I want my phone dead around 7 p.m,
Uncle's the Prowler.
I have to charge it at least once. And back with the stupid phones, back in the good old days, in the glory days of the Nokia 3310, if you had to charge your phone even once a week, you were doing something wrong, or your battery was dying, basically, because they just went on and on forever. And also, you could basically run over those phones with a car almost, and that would not even slow them down. Speaking of slowing things down, I need to get to Finn's phone. Ah,
There's the fan controls. Dang. I gotta keep them in
Okay.
place somehow. Spinning blades of death. Got it.
so
Yes. Now for the wires.
ah, simple enough. There we go.
Battery needs a charge.
And I realize, of
He's on his
course,
road.
just to end my long rant about mobile phones,
Camera, video.
that of course batteries drain a lot faster nowadays due to our phones today. Back in those days, all you could do with your phone was make and receive calls, send and receive text messages, and on Nokia you had a mobile game called Snake. And that was what you could do with them, basically. But nowadays, with all apps and games and web browsers and having the entire world's knowledge in one little thingamabob, of course it's gonna drain the battery faster, because phones can do so much more these days.
You're just the cost of doing business.
Things seem to be going sideways. And that dude just got vaporized.
Someone else is in there. Find out.
Rick was trying to save people. And Krieger killed him. I have to finish what they
Told you he was a villain.
Uncle Aaron, can you unlock the reactor shooting from where you are?
Why?
Close down new form reactor.
That reactor killed my friend. It needs to be shut down. Permanently. I need your help, Unc. Please.
Unk.
Uncle Aaron?
Okay. Stand back.
Thanks, Unc. Whoa. Just like the generator outside! Only huge!
What are you doing? Mom! Stop! Mom!
I'm still trying to get Unk.
You gotta get out of there, man. Can you move?
Yeah.
Sounds like Orson Lannister, like gunk gunk gunk.
I feel real bad right now. It's like it's scaring me.
You're gonna get charged with a break. Sorry. Horrible joke once again. I'm not sorry.
You alright?
Charged with breaking and entering. Yes, that is a terrible joke and I stand by every syllable of it.
Disabled.
You're almost out.
I really needed that phone. Now what am I gonna do?
Come on, kid. I can't get to you before Roxxon does.
Ah, shit.
Stand down! We're taking you into custody!
Bring it.
They've got orders from Captain.
Why? What do they want?
Study you, interrogate you. Don't know, don't care. Just don't let them.
Okay, there are a lot of guys. Roxxon enemies have special venom-proof technologies. Certain attacks will block bioelectricity so that you can't use venom powers for a while. Okay. Wanna play rough, eh? Give here. Ow. Ow. What did I say a few episodes back? Always go for the guy with the firearms, and instead I go for the dudes with the riot shields. Like they are gonna be the ones causing me problems. You can take that shit back.
God damn it. Mom, I just got booted from the system. Give me a minute. I'll get you out of there.
Got it.
This may look very disorganized, but it isn't. Maybe a wee bit. But I've got the situation under control at least.
Let's
See?
go before
Perfect.
more of them show up.
Whoa. That was super cool cloaking tech. How does it work?
And once again, we're going past the 30-minute mark.
This is bad, Mom. Real bad.
Don't worry. We can take these guys.
Oh, I ain't worried about that. I'm worried
Let's see. We can throw one of them over there. Take out all these little bitches. See? Everything is going great. Kicking ass and taking names. I just realized it was a bit stupid to waste the finisher on that dude, because he was probably quite close to, I almost said death, but quite close to unconsciousness already. Because... Oh, come here, you hippie. Try to run away from me. I'll take that. You can have that back. I'll take that, give it back. There we go. Kick your ass. Okay, there's a dude somewhere with a missile launcher, and that is never a good fit. Ow. Oh dear god, this is potentially very bad. Okay. I'll take it.
You need to lay low. Don't trust anybody, and don't take off that mask. Wait till Roxanne finds a better target.
I can't lay low.
I'm guessing that was one of those endless spawn fights that you sometimes encounter in video
Friends,
games.
Tinker. No wonder you care so much about this.
It's not just that. I'm... Protecting New York is my job.
Use Finn. Tell her you want to join the underground.
You just told me don't take off the mask.
Don't tell her you're Spider-Man. Go to her as a friend.
Miles doesn't seem to be the brightest star on the New York sky from time
People
to
get
time.
stupid when they care about someone. Like you're being stupid now.
Yes.
If I told her the truth,
Yes, you
I told
are
your dad
actually.
the truth. Thought he had my back. Hoped he would. Be my brother. Instead, he cut me out. If I kept my mouth shut, maybe I'd still have a family. You know what you have to do.
What I need to do is end this episode. So if this cutscene could end pretty soon. Thank you. Right on cue. Trophy.
No.
The source of, or the core of the problem.
Yeah.
Yes, and this episode has gone on for quite a while.
It's crazy. I've been running some numbers.
So,
I know you said no to ads before, but maybe we could
there's a lot of
consider-
things going on.
Right. No, of course not.
3 new visor models.
Dang. So did you find Finn's phone?
Yeah. But, it melted after I absorbed energy from a new form reactor.
Wait, what?
Yes.
How are you not dead?
I'm gonna end this episode right here. I want to thank you so very much for watching, and I will see you again in my next video. So until next time, this is the Wolfman signing off.